Hey guys, today is Saturday. It's the 16th of November 2024. And yes, before I stream any games today, I thought I'd do a video first of all. So I just want to start by saying how grateful I am to everybody who subscribed this week and watched one of my gaming streams. So I stream games every night and every day of the week. I stream various games on the PS5 and Nintendo Switch. Last night I streamed Dragon Quest III, the new remake that's come out on Nintendo Switch, and I streamed about the first hour or so of the game. Now, I've never played on a Dragon Quest game before, but yes, I really enjoyed the first hour. I think graphically it looks great. I love the voice acting in it, and I love the battles and the turn-based battles in the game. But enough about streaming for this video. So I thought I'd do another video today talking about my Famicom collection. Now, in the last video, I explained that I'm in the process of collecting Famicom games, and I've not told anybody yet, but I do intend to collect every single Japanese Famicom game. And this week, 3 new games have arrived through the post. Now, the 3 games, they actually arrived on Thursday, but because I've been so busy with streaming, I've only gotten round to making this video this morning. It's a Saturday morning. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is reveal what these games are, and I'll start with the first game. And the first game I ordered is another Dragon Ball game. And this Dragon Ball game is called Dragon Ball Daimao Fakatsu. This game came out in 1988, which is going back even further than Attack of the Saiyans. Let me just show you Attack of the Saiyans. This is another Dragon Ball game, but this is a Dragon Ball Z game. So this was 1990. This was 1988. And this game, it's the same kind of style where you go around and it's kind of like a board game, but at the same time, there's a turn-based strategy element, and you use cards to fight like you do in this Dragon Ball Z game. But yes, it's called Daimao Fukatsu, which translates to the Demon King's Revenge, which I think is a very cool title. And you never got a title like that for a game in the West back then. But let me just put it into the Famicom system to see if it works. Now, one thing I will say is every now and then, these games don't load all the time first time round. But let's see. Okay, so yes, it seems to be working okay. So what I'm going to do is turn this around so you can see my TV. So, as you can see, one thing I find very cool right away is the fact that the game has a remix version of Magufushi Adventure, which is the main theme of the OG Dragon Ball anime, and I think that's just great. Now, the game is quite heavily text, and I can't read Japanese, but there are video walkthroughs on YouTube now that can help you. And from looking at it, I can complete the game in about 2 hours. So I might spend a bit of time over the weekend just having a playthrough. I did play on about maybe 30 minutes or so. the other night. But yes, now on to my second game. So this is a game called Ultraman 3. Now, I think this cartridge looks pretty cool, and I actually got this from a local shop, but that of mine. It's called Geek World, but they have an eBay store, so I got this from their eBay store. I think the art on this cartridge is quite cool, and yes, Ultraman is a spaceman that flies around, and from that, now I didn't know anything about this game originally, but you fly around various maps and encounter wild creatures. And from what I've read online, it's a little bit like Pokemon. But let me just try loading it up, see if it works. Okay, it didn't work the first time. Okay, so now it's worked. So this is Ultraman 3. And let me just see if I can go into the main game. So you start off next to a mountain, and I'm not actually controlling this at the minute, this is automatic. So yeah, straight away you see what I mean, that it has a bit of a Pokemon and possibly a Dragon Quest feel to it. And once again, this game is quite heavily text-based, so again, I can't read Japanese, so I'm gonna look into a guide, getting a guide for it, but at the same time, it's mainly a part of my collection, so that's another game. And finally, we move on to another game. Now, I know a lot of you last night were watching the Mike Tyson fight. I didn't watch it live because it was late, so I went to bed, but I am going to watch it this afternoon for a little bit. But speaking of fighting, another game I ordered is I want a sort of a fighting game, but it's also an RPG. And this, let me just get the title here, because this may be difficult to pronounce. It's Hokuto no Ken 3 Shinseki Son Nozo Seiken Retsuden, which is actually, so some of you, like I wasn't aware of this at first, but this is actually a Fist of the North Star game. And this is an RPG. I have been doing a bit of research on this game. This is an RPG, and you can walk around. There are like shops and various places where you can buy equipment, but there are also random battles and random enemies throughout each map. And the game actually does follow one of the arcs in the Fist of the North Star anime. Let me just double check the arc. So it covers the Kingdom of Shura arc. Now, I've never watched Fist of the North Star, the anime. It's not that I don't want to, it's just something that I've not got round to watching yet. But again, let me just see if this will work. And yes, it's working straight away. Oh no, actually it isn't. See what I mean there? So the title screen's loaded, but there's a buzzing sound. Ah, it's working now, so I'll turn my TV round. So you have these people following you, and this is just one of the maps. It's quite funny because I'm actually unsure if this is the beginning of a new save file, or whether this is continuing on from a save file once again. It's quite heavily text-based, so I'm gonna have to look on YouTube and maybe play on it with a walkthrough. But nonetheless, yes, I'm impressed with these. Well, as far as like my collection goes, anyway, I'm impressed with these three games. I think they make a great addition to my collection. Whether I'll enjoy playing on the games or not, I don't know. Dragon Ball, I probably will. The other two, I'm unsure on, but I'll give them a go. But yes, thank you. That's my video update on the Famicom system. Well, my Famicom collection. But I will be collecting more games, but it may be a couple of weeks from now when I get more games. But thank you. Thank you for the continued support. Please feel free to jump in and watch one of my streams if you would like to. And thank you once again, and I hope to see you in another video.